Hello, welcome to the Garden Gurus. I'm Trevor Cochran. We have got another fantastic program packed full of autumn garden inspiration, just like this, coming at you today. Here's what's coming up on today's show. This week on the Garden Gurus, Bonnie showcases a selection of hardy succulents and cacti. Nigel shares his tips and tricks that'll help you prune the trees in your garden before winter sets in. And I'll look at caring for low-light plants using the latest gardening innovations.
Dig, 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 digging around. Dig, 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 digging the ground. I got my spade, I got my hoe, I got my rake, and I'm ready to go.
Most trees need some pruning from time to time to keep them in shape and healthy, and autumn is a fantastic time of year to prune, especially with deciduous trees that have lost some leaves, exposing the branch structure, which makes for easier pruning. Now, with all tree pruning, remember the 3 Ds: dead, damaged, and diseased. Get rid of them. Before you start pruning, develop a plan as to what you're going to cut and where the cuttings are likely to fall, and prepare for this. You don't want to go steaming in there all gung-ho. When pruning, make sure you maintain an angle of no more than 60 degrees to the limb you're working on. This will ensure you're not under it when it falls. A foolish mistake bound to end in tears. Make sure you're wearing all the safety equipment, including a helmet, which is essential for any overhead pruning. The chain tension should be firm and allow for ease of movement for a fast, clean cut. You should be able to lift it slightly off the bar, but not have it hanging loose. You can adjust the tension with the screw spanner tool. You only need to apply light pressure. The weight of the cutting head is generally enough to make the cut for you. Avoid using the tip of the bar and make sure the chain's at full speed before you touch the wood. Oh, yes. For stability, keep your arms at waist level and don't extend them overhead. And remember, branches over 5 meters high are best left to a professional arborist. To stop the guide bar being pinched when pruning heavy branches, make a small relieving cut in the compression side first. This is the side at the bottom of the branch. Then a second cut, called a bucking cut, at the opposite side. If you do try and cut all the way through, your bar will get pinched and stuck with the pressure of the compression side squeezing the bar and chain. So remember, folks, have a plan, be safety conscious, and do a nice job.
Check out this tree behind me. It's an Acer Autumn Blaze and it produces the most brilliant colour every single year. And if you're looking for a beautiful tree, a featured tree, why not plant one in your garden?
It feels like every single one of us now has at least one indoor plant, either in our house or office, or maybe you've got a beautiful indoor planter. Even better, a hanging basket with a cascading indoor plant. Even better than that, maybe a whole atrium indoor garden. And this is good for us in so many different ways, both in the mind as it de-stresses us, but also because it cleanses the air we breathe. They're very important things. There's something that all indoor plants have in common, no matter what position they're in, and that is they have to be cared for the same way. It all starts with a good watering. These pothos hanging baskets don't need huge amounts of water. In fact, a light misting every day is all they require as far as water goes. I've achieved this by using the Holman misting system, which has a tap timer that can be set up for multiple runs if necessary. But to get pothos growing happily like this, these guys get just 20 minutes of light mist, delivering around 5 millimetres of water per day in summer, and they're only watered every second day in autumn. You probably saw the story a couple of seasons ago where I created this epiphytic living tree. Now, what you do is you can use old tree trunks or branches in this case, fix them into the ground, and then you put plants like bromeliads, these beauties here. And these occur naturally in environments just like this. They're what they call epiphytes. They grow on the side of trees or in the forks of trunks, and they really grow out and they just use organic material to get growing. They're very adapted. Water is important, but some some of them require less than others, like these guys. Tillandsias are often called air plants, and they don't need roots as such, as they've adapted to draw moisture from the atmosphere around them. To be able to survive, their nutrient sources are generally leaves and organic matter as it breaks down. And then there's these plants, indoor plants that are grown in pots. They present some of the biggest challenges for you, but it doesn't have to be that way. In fact, most indoor plants die from too much love. So give them a little less. And what I mean by that is they only need 2 to 3 glasses of water a week. And then there's nutrients, which are very important. In fact, nutrient supply is the most critical thing to all indoor plants, whether in a garden or pot. And the key is small amounts regularly and a balanced diet. Sounds a bit like the way we should live to stay healthy too. Liquid plant foods are good. In fact, Troforte liquid is my preference for an occasional boost for air plants and bromeliads. It's probably your only and best option. It's simple to apply, especially if you have a hose-on pack, and the good old watering can is also an option. Now, the real key to success for me is feeding plants in a consistent way. Indoor plants require a complex diet of nutrients delivered consistently over a long period of time, and that's why we rely on this brand. This Troforte technology is fabulous, and I've talked about it a lot, but for indoor plants, it's just incredible because not only do you get that complex diet being delivered over a long period of time, you're also getting all those beneficial soil microbes that are enriching and enhancing the soil, improving the plant's whole functionality. That's really important if you want strong, healthy plants. Application of this new Troforte M indoor and patio blend is simple. Use the little cup in the 700-gram tub and use just one sprinkled across the surface of the soil. And give the plant a watering afterwards. It can be used in pots, for hanging baskets, and on garden bed soils as well. And you only need to apply once every 4 months. You know, your favourite indoor plant needs this. This probiotic soil tonic really gives them a massive boost. And with all the nutrients that are in it, you'll see fantastic growth. It reinvigorates them, no matter whether they're a bit tired or whether they're already still happy. What you do need to do is remember that you need to apply it now in autumn and again in springtime to get strong, sustainable growth. And look at that. They look fantastic, don't they?
Swan Valley Nursery's Tasting Asia herb range includes some amazing flavours you can readily grow at home. Holy basil is mainly cultivated as an essential element in pad kra pao. That's a Thai dish that's sort of like an Australian sandwich. You have it for lunch every day and use lots of these leaves. It's also cultivated for medicinal purposes as well as making a delightful herbal tea. Thai holy basil is easy to grow in summer in southern Australia. However, it could use a little bit of winter protection from cold. So grow it in a pot and bring it indoors to avoid the winter chills. Well, Laxa herb is a perennial ground cover and it just loves the warm months in Australia. You can plant it out into a pot and once again it'll trail over the side. Now it has a bit of a kick to the flavour when you eat the leaf and you can use it in salads and stews. But in Vietnam, it's revered as an ingredient of the hot and spicy Laxa soup, one of my favourites. Lemongrass stalks are great value in Asian soups and stews, with the white stem portion giving the richest flavour. The leaves can be used for making a subtle and delightful herbal tea. Lemongrass is a great performer in the garden. It grows like stink through the warm months of the year. Now you can grow it out in the garden, in the veggie patch for an example, but it's terrific in a pot just like this. Now keep an eye out for these labels in your local garden centre and add a bit of Asian magic to your cooking.
Now, if you're looking for a dog-proof plant, this is it, the low-growing Banksia. Sometimes animals and plants don't go well together, particularly if you've got a dog that chases a ball all the time. Well, these ground-covering Banksias are fantastic. They seem to be never without a flower. They cope with heavy clay soil, sandy soil, do brilliantly in the pot or in a full, hot, sunny position.
Ancient relatives of Australia's members of the Protea family, the South African Proteas, are something to behold. and one plant that you should be putting into your gardens in the autumn to establish them well and truly in time for summer. There are a number of members of the South African protea family I just love. Leucadendrons would be one of my favourites, but it's hard to beat the proteas themselves. Look at those flowers, they're just gorgeous. Now, if you're wondering how to get the best results out of proteas, plant them in a nice sunny position. The soil should be free draining, and if it's not, you've got a heavy soil, plant them into a mound. That's the ideal scenario. Bit of feeding, so a controlled release on a regular basis, and also watering during the summer is important.
G'day folks, I'm always looking for ways to improve the lawn and keep it healthy, and autumn is the perfect time, replenishing nutrients and preparing it for winter. I've been using Sea Sol Lawn and Soil Booster for a while now. It's simple to use with everything your lawn needs for healthy, thick green growth and strong roots. Plus, the seaweed gives added immune boosting powers to protect against heat, drought and frost. Now this stuff's full of all the good gear that your soil needs too. It's got the natural compost, the humic acid and the organic matter. It's just fabulous for building a healthy soil. It encourages the soil microbes and increases earthworm activity, as well as improving the soil structure, which helps root development. I mean, really, what more do you want? If you're laying a new lawn or seed, mix some of the lawn and soil booster into the soil beforehand, and it works wonders for establishing a new lawn and seed, helping with root development and promoting a lush, green, healthy lawn, which is exactly what you want. You can apply lawn and soil booster all year round and see fast results. Just make sure you water it in thoroughly after application or apply when it's raining.
This fascinating looking plant is Nepenthes, or the pitcher plant. It's a carnivorous plant and it draws nutrient from insects. So basically they go into this trap, they can't get out and they're absorbed into the plant. Now it has been known to capture rodents even for the bigger sized plants.
They say don't judge a book by its cover, and this is the same for succulents and cacti. They may look rough and spiky, but they produce some of the most beautiful flowers you'll ever see. And over the years, I've picked up a number of growing tips, which I'm going to share with you now. Almost all varieties love to grow in a warm, sunny position in the garden. Leaving them to grow in heavy shade is sadly no good and can result in limp growth. So the more sun, the better and healthier the plant will be. When you're choosing succulents and cacti, look for the ones with really good colouring, strong stems, and are well rooted into their pots, so not wobbly, because this way you're starting off with a really good plant. Even though these plants look rough, they have a soft spot as they love to be cared for. They will require watering in their peak growing seasons, spring and summer, but not every day. Do the good old finger test to see if they need any water. In my garden, I grow my plants in pots purely due to my climate and because it's easier to look after them. And when you're growing these plants, it's important to get the soil right. So what I like to do is put a layer of horticultural charcoal at the base, and then I use my go-to mix, which is this one here. This is a free draining mix with added coarse grit, which is ideal as it helps in preventing the soil from becoming too wet, which means no root rot. It also has boosted calcium, which helps with nutrient uptake, and potassium, which encourages steady growth and pest and disease resistance. When it comes to fertilising, there's a few ways you can go about it, but make sure you use a specialist feed just for your cacti and succulents. And the Scott's Osmocote is a great range, and you can pick up almost anything to suit. And their slow release fertiliser will feed for about 6 months, and it's activated by soil temperature, so you know your plants are getting all those nutrients as they're actively growing. For liquid fertilisers, the pour and feed is perfect. There is hardly any odour, it's non-staining, and it's very easy to apply. Every few months, I go around the garden with some tweezers and just weed the pots carefully. That way I don't get pricked in the process. And hopefully you can take some of these tips and tricks and apply them to your own plants and enjoy your own beautiful collection.
Autumn is a fantastic time of the year to be getting out and putting plants into the garden. I think it's the best time of the year, and the main reason being that, well, we're not as hot, so evaporation's dropped off, which means soil moisture levels are at their best. But there's a few other things you can do to guarantee your success rate when you're putting new plants into the garden. I'll share them with you. When it comes to getting amazing results planting, there are a few tricks you need to use, like always dig your soil over thoroughly before you plant anything. Try and loosen it up and get it all friable and open. And when you dig the planting hole, make sure it's at least twice as big as the pot that you're planting into the ground. If your soil is poor quality, improving the organic content can be smart. And that just involves adding a planting mix, or even better, adding a top quality potting mix to fill the soil in around the hole. But before you fill the hole with potting mix, there's something else you can do now that almost guarantees the transplant success. This is mineral magic. Now, it's an ancient fossilised plankton, an amorphic silica, biogenic, and it's absolutely brilliant in absorbing huge amounts of moisture and nutrients that are released into the soil and holding them in around the plant's roots. Just 2 handfuls in the bottom of a planting hole like this will ensure that the plant gets all the nutrients it needs and encourage its rapid development and establishment. It's such a brilliant product. Once your mineral magic is in the base of the hole, pop your plant in and add the planting mix. You can water in sea salt too. This assists the plant if it's suffered root damage and ensures that it doesn't set back. Soak the ground thoroughly and let the plant settle. Now that this is all soaked through, the great thing is the mineral magic underneath is sucking up all of that sea salt. So as the roots go down, they'll be able to access it. It won't wash below the roots and never be available. And of course, because it is absorbing 40 to 50% of its weight in water, well, it makes it a water-wise product. And it's actually accredited water-wise and smart approved watermark. And it's completely natural. And it doesn't matter if you have natives, exotics, veggie seedlings or ferns, they'll all benefit from this addition at the point of planting. And if your plant's success in its new home is important to you, mineral magic is an essential ingredient in your future successes. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, well, I've got heavy clay or even heavy loam and this product is not going to help me, it will help you a lot. In fact, the great thing about it is because it's highly porous, well, its air-filled porosity, that air it puts into the soil, improves drainage dramatically in clays. So this has got all sorts of uses for home gardens, and now is the time to be putting it in so that you can get it charged with winter rains. Autumn is the best time to apply it and get your plants off to the best possible start. Well, that's it for this week's show. I hope you enjoyed it. You know what, gardening should never be hard. It is easy. All you need to do is know a few of the tricks and some of the secrets to success, and that's what we're all about. Good news is we're back next week. If you want any more information from today's show, all you have to do is simply check out our website. You can download fact sheets, or if you've got a question, become a friend on Facebook. It's the easiest way to get it answered. I'm Trevor Cochran. We'll see you next week for the Garden Gurus. Look at you guys.